Hello, in this video I will show you how to use the data actions update data, delete row, duplicate row, and increment value in a more advanced way using the ByMatch feature. So let's take a concrete example. We have a shop with 3 products, espresso, croissant, and orange juice. And we have 2 tables, shop products with those 3 items, and cart items, which is empty for now. So let's have a look at the first workflow that we set up. This is a very simple one. We have an increment value node, but this time we won't use the by row option, which allows you to increment one specific row. We will choose the by match, meaning that we have the ability here to use a condition to query the table and act on all the rows that match this query. So the condition we have here is it should be a product which is equals to espresso. And this is in our cart items table. So every time that this condition is true, when we click on the button, this will increment it by 1. This will increment the quantity by 1. So you notice that for now our cart is empty. So this condition wouldn't work because there is no espresso product right now in our cart items. So this is why there is this second section, which is if nothing matches, then you have the option to select create a row. And in this case, that's what we'll do, because if the customer doesn't have any item in their cart, they should be able to add any of those items. And in this case, we'll add an espresso as product, quantity equals 1, and the price. So let's test this section. So when we click on Add Espresso, we can see that indeed there were 0 matched entries in our cart items. So 1 item was created and the quantity is now 1. So this is essentially what we call an upsert function, which is either insert or update a value. And in this case, because there was no value in the beginning, we inserted a new line. The next 2 items are exactly the same workflows, so I won't explain it again. It's the increment value using the ByMatch feature. As we can see, orange juice is the same thing. You can see also that we have a repeater here that is showing our cart. So right now we have just 1 espresso, quantity 1 in our cart. Now, we have the ability also to use this ByMatch feature with update nodes. So let me show you how it works. Typically, an update node allows you to update one specific row. But in this case, we want to update all the rows that match a certain condition. And here the condition is that product equals croissant. So it's a very simple condition. We just want to identify this line and we select the first match only the first row that shows up, because typically in a cart, we only want 1 row for each product. And we define the update. So the new quantity is set to 12. So we are not adding 12 items as we would with the increment action, but we are setting the quantity to 12. And same thing, if the line doesn't exist, then we create it. Croissant, 12 as quantity and the price. So we have none in our cart right now. If we click on this, we can see no match, and it updated one row. Well, actually, it inserted one row. So that's the upsert feature that I was describing. And you can see that in our cart, we have 1 espresso and we have 12 croissants. Now, this ByMatch feature that allows you to pretty much filter some rows to act on them is also available in duplicate row. So you can filter the rows with a condition and duplicate only those rows. In this case, we'll filter on espresso, and we'll take the first match and we'll duplicate this line. So let's try. So the match was duplicated, and we can see indeed that we have a second espresso line. And the last one is the delete row action. And here also we have the ability to filter on a condition. Our query will be when product is not empty, then we delete it. And this will apply to every match in this case. So let's try it. 3 lines were deleted, all the non-empty items, meaning all of the items in our cart. Now let me show you just one last thing. Let's add an espresso. And here you can see that we can also set a delete row specifically on this repeater item. In this case, we don't need a condition because we are acting directly on the repeater. So we can just delete the row. That's a case where ByMatch is not necessary, which is much simpler. And if we click on this, this removes the item from our cart. So of course, you can apply this ByMatch feature to any type of use case where you need to increase, update one or multiple items in a table. And that makes it much more powerful and flexible than simply acting on simple rows, because in this case, you can use conditions and queries in a way to act on multiple rows, many rows at a time.